Check.
Should we hit him with the The nations could tell that we moving. I get the feeling the heathen is lurking, tremble with fear. We touching lands overseas, it's apparent they hate when we there. That's part of the battle, faith and experience that come up to them that have traveled, yeah. Hey, now they lines go to end of the earth, and ain't no speech where they voices not heard until we gather the children of God. Reason we travel abroad, I see the hope in their eyes. That's the substance of things that's not seen in the faith that we have while we here, cause we move with no fear. Well, you better laugh. We working out now what before we didn't have. What's lack when the King Spirit A-gang, a president of Scarlet Court of Rahab. Note that we all have
faith. If it ain't got worse than it's dead, gotta be about it, we can't be scared. God didn't give us the spirit of fear. We gon' touch down wherever we there.
Wherever we, yeah.
Wherever we there.
Wherever we, yeah.
We gon' touch down with faith. If it ain't got worse than it's dead, gotta be about it, we can't be scared. God didn't give us the spirit of fear. We gon' touch down wherever we there.
Wherever we, yeah.
Wherever we there.
Wherever we, yeah.
We gon' touch down.
Last time I checked, we was touching the globe. We ain't got room for no soft. Put in your brick, count up your costs, or you can move and do what you doff. The prophets are back, Elias the Baptist, putting your faith in the practice, dripping with water, the rivers are hither. Learn from my fathers, we dipped in the elixir to find the truth. I found my life in my youth. Hey, glory to God, threw in my hands, swallow my pride. My arms too short, I can't box God. This that 12th round endurance, fight that good fight, Israel endured. Christ like this, that like Mike the shoe fit. This that like Mike, why fight the movement? This the haymaker, fade away, make a fire. Can't fake desire, that waster on the way. Boom, no chaser. Let's start the ending and greet the creator. Roll out the credits, roll out the chariots, roll out the heathen and link up the fetters. Roll out the carpet, the kingdom is coming, our kingdom is coming, much bigger and better. That's why we've been breaking ground, boots and sword. We've been side scrolling, moving forward, drying up the tears of Judah mourn, joining up the sticks from 2 to 1. Nation building, making women honor their husband, make them raise his children, making our sons avengers, break the system with all gravity, just like it has to be. But we gotta have faith.
If it ain't got worse than it's dead, gotta be about it, we can't be scared. God didn't give us the spirit of fear. We gon' touch down wherever we there.
Wherever we, yeah.
Wherever we there.
Wherever we, yeah.
We gon' touch down with faith. If it ain't got worse than it's dead, gotta be about it, we can't be scared. God didn't give us the spirit of fear. We gon' touch down wherever we there.
Wherever we, yeah.
Wherever we there.
Wherever we, yeah.
We gon' touch down
And we
with
send
faith.
another last warning out to the lands where they short joining. Have to mention how we spread to the 4 corners, and the word we bringing out, send them to the corner. And we teaching on the corners the same way we bringing out the niggas, pissing coons, cause they moving like they foreigners. It's showing up to that exponential growth, you could chalk it up to that. When we popping up the braces, cause you know we growing faster than the Autobahn. Might grow they souls, turning all their minds. 3,000 souls coming in at once. Lord only knows when wrath gonna come. We bring the truth and you see the fruits. We pray he save you when we bring the boots out to the crisis. Prophet ad written where their life is. Don't be surprised, cause we might just hit them with the
Faith.
As we walk through this fight, day and night, we try to prepare ourselves for the battle that's set before us. Sometimes we fall because of our weakness and the weakness of our flesh, but yet we gotta continue to run.
I'm gon' run. I'm gon' race to it. I'm not done.
Yeah,
No, I'm
we got a
not
long way to go.
done. And I won't
No, we
give
came so
up.
far.
I'm gon' race to
Sister
it.
Diane.
I'm not done. I won't give up.
Look, it's like all the anger I harbor inside. Sometimes I wanna let the tears just fall from my eyes. Thought I was something and what? Had to swallow my pride. My own family tried to get me to part from my God. They turned their ear from hearing truth cause they caught up in lies. I used to hang with gangbangers that tossed up the five. Now I just kick it with the saints and my talk with the wise. Yet I've been falling, my sins calling to tear me down. Many over now won't make it to get to wear the crown. I ask the Lord now to forgive me for all my wicked ways. Cleanse me of transgressions before my body lay in the grave. Clean me of my secret sins, establish my thoughts, and wash away iniquities and my presumptuous faults. Give me wisdom from your word when I'm down and distraught, and give me strength to apply what I'm taught, and I'm gon' run. See what I come to learn in this truth?
I'm gon' race.
Is this race is not to the swift.
I'm not done.
All of us got different battles, different problems.
I'm not done.
But our line is to fight. The Most High give us all strength to fight at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? As long as He with us, nobody can be against us, you know what I'm saying? Look, plead my cause, oh Lord, with them that strive with me, and fight against all those that try to fight against me. Take hold of thy shield and buckler, stand to be my help. Protect me from my enemies and even myself. Let them all be confounded and put to shame that seek after my soul. Let them turn and be confused for the wicked they sown. For we remember your works and your wonders are old. How you split the Red Sea and turned it into a roll. Lord knows I'm vexed, but I'm changing my mind state. Living in a world that my God gonna annihilate. In a time where little boys wanna be like Beyonce, and drugs got the whole hood high as the crime rate. But I still run like a runaway slave who got fears of being hung. Like an army lieutenant in a war with no gun. Like politicians who already won, yet this war just begun. So I'm gon' run. In this battle that's set before us,
I'm gon' race.
we give up weapons that's no longer carnal. The Most High with us in this fight, you know what I'm saying? All we gotta do is have faith.
And I won't give
Walk
up.
in His laws, statutes, and commandments. But therein, that's the battle. Cause all those that endure to the end and don't give up will receive eternal life. Yeah. So no matter what we go through in this fight, we gotta keep running. We gotta run to Him who created us. Sister Diet, sing to Him.
I've been let down. I won't give up. I can fall 7 times and get back up. I've seen mountains move, and it's because of you. That's why
First, Pete. Cursed in the city.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless, Most High in Christ bless. So, this is Iuic 365 scripts, 4 chapters a day. Today, you got Iuic Arkansas holding it down. Myself, Officer Emmanuel.
Soldier Ezekiel.
And today the chapters that we're going to read are in the book of Judges in the chapters 17 through 20. It's a couple of very interesting stories. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the tribe of Benjamin. Boop, boop, boop. The Butty Boys. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Benjamin, wow, bruh. But it's really like it's some weird stuff going on in the book of Judges, bruh. Because, we ain't had no leadership structure. So, I'm telling you, Israel got wild, bruh. Like, Israel got wild. But really, like, when you read the Bible the right way, you read these stories in your mind, you can't picture it being none other than blacks and Hispanics, bruh.
Right.
Facts. Like, hey, I'm telling you, bruh, only we do the type of stuff that we going to read about today. But before we get into it, I want to address something real quick from Friday when I did the story of Samson. Some sisters, they felt as if, I was saying that it's a sin to trust women and, you know what I'm saying, all of that. But no, I thought I made it clear, but I apologize if I did not. Samson's error, you know what I'm saying, was dealing with harlots, in particular, heathen harlots. The Bible says never trust your enemy. That's where he messed up, confiding in heathen women who are, our oppressor. If he would have just listened to his parents and married within his nation, you know what I'm saying, we wouldn't have had nothing bad to say. So it wasn't even about women as pertaining to our beautiful, righteous Israelite sisters who we love dearly. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we were saying was in reference to the heathen harlots that Samson was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So, we ain't going to apologize for that. It is what it is. The Bible say what it say. Let's get there real quick in Proverbs 23 and 27. This is the moral of the story, you know what I'm saying, as far as the lesson that us men should learn from Samson. You know what I'm saying? Even though we know all of it was of the Lord, it was an occasion against the Philistines. The Lord wanted to destroy them. And that's how he conjured up the storyline. You know what I'm saying? But as far as men, what we should take from that and pertaining to women, this is the lesson. Read what you got.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 23 and verse 27.
Come on.
For a whore is a deep ditch.
Right, a whore or a harlot is a deep ditch. Have you ever been driving and got stuck in a ditch?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You in a very bad predicament. You know what I'm saying? You stuck like Chuck. And that's you know what I'm saying? That's the hole that Samson fell in, dealing with them harlots. He ended up in the hands of his enemies. Read on.
And a strange woman is a narrow pit.
A what?
A strange woman is a narrow pit.
A strange woman. What is a strange woman? A heathen woman.
Right.
That's what he was dealing with. God said a strange woman is a narrow pit. Meaning what? Yeah, once you get caught up in that, it's hard as hell to get out. And that's what happened to Samson. He got caught up dealing with heathen harlots, in which God said not to do. That is against God's laws. Read on.
Verse 28.
Uh-huh.
She also lieth in wait as
she
for
do what?
She lieth in wait.
She lieth in wait, meaning she trying to scheme and plot on ways to get you caught up.
Right.
Because remember, in Deuteronomy 7:3 in the law, when you read 7 verses 3 and 4, you know what I'm saying? Basically what he's saying is don't deal with the heathen woman because your heart going to be turned after they gods. Because their ultimate loyalty is to their God. Yeah, they might like your rod, but their ultimate loyalty is to their God. And that's what they showed. That's what Delilah and the other harlot he dealt with showed. Their loyalty was with their people. You know what I'm saying? And they got what they called the guy, Dagon or something like that. Huh? Dagon. Exactly. So her loyalty was to her God. She was lying in wait for Samson. Read on.
She also lieth in wait as for a prey.
As for a prey, Samson was the prey. Read.
And increaseth the transgressors among men.
And she didn't do nothing but increase his transgressions. You know what I'm saying? He was breaking the laws of God, dealing with the heathen harlot. She increased his transgressions. All right, so that's what the Bible say. You know what I'm saying? But I did make another comment because remember, You know what I'm saying? It said that he got to the point after she was manipulating him that he uttered all his heart. I want you sisters to understand something. I'm married, you know what I'm saying? I love my wife. We all love our wives. But, you know, like the precept up for Micah 7:5 is certain thing. You ain't, it's not permitted unto you to utter everything, all of how you feel, basically vent all of your emotions and all of that to your wife. You know what I'm saying? Simply because it's unprofitable. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. The scriptures say what it say. Let's get an example. Ecclesiastes 10:20. Like, say, for example, you got something against you, something in your mind, you know, against leadership or something like that, and you go home and you get to vent to your wife. You know what I'm saying? God talks about pillow talking. It's in the Bible. All right? Read what you got.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10 and verse 20.
Read that.
Curse not the king. No, not in thy thought.
Right. So don't curse the king. No, not even in your mind. Read on.
And curse not the rich in thy bedchamber.
Don't curse the rich. Don't talk bad and speak evil on the rich in your bedchamber. Who is you talking to in your bedchamber? You see what I'm saying? For real, Samson is ringing a bell. You know what I'm saying? He got to running his mouth in that bedchamber, and that's what got him jacked up. That's what got him caught up and captured by the heathen. For real, that's what got them locks chopped off. Read on.
For a bird of the air shall carry the voice, and that which hath wings shall tell the matter.
So basically, your pillow talking is going to come out abroad, generally because, you know, it is what it is. You know, a lot of our sisters, we can't, you know, it's hard for them to hold stuff. It is what it is. So that's what God said. All right? Don't be uttering everything to your wife. Right. That don't mean, you know, be an a-hole and, you know what I'm saying, be completely confidential. No. You know what I'm saying? But just use wisdom, be mindful. But I was no way in any shape or form trying to condemn or talk bad about our sisters. You know what I'm saying? The vendetta, as far as the story of Samson, is against dealing with the heathen harlot. All right? Understand that. I pray y'all understand that. All right? For real. I love my sister. Ain't no hatred for women up here. For real. I got a beautiful Israelite wife, and I hug and love and kiss on her all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. All right? Shout out to my wife, Sis Naomi. Shalom. All right, so anyway, let's get Judges. Let's start now. Judges chapter 17 and verse 1. Read that.
Judges chapter 17 and verse 1. And there was a man of Mount Ephraim, whose name was Micah. Verse 2. And he said unto his mother, the 1,100 shekels of silver that were taken from thee.
That were what?
Taken from thee.
So this brother, you know what I'm saying, from the Mount Ephraim, this brother has stole 1,100 shekels of silver from his mama. All right, read on.
About which thou cursest, and spakest of also in mine ears. Behold, the silver is with me. I took it.
Right, this what you said, what you was talking about came up missing. I took it. I stole it from you. Read.
And his mother said, blessed be thou of the Lord, my son.
Right, now this is weird. So, that, you know, she didn't get on him. She didn't rebuke him. She said, blessed be thou the Lord, my son. Read on.
And when he had restored the 1,100 shekels of silver to his mother said, I had wholly dedicated the silver unto the Lord from my hand for my son, to make a graven image and a molten image.
So he trying to give his mama the money back, like, I stole it, here, you got it here you go. She said, nah, I dedicated all of that silver for you to make a graven and molten image. What the hell is going on here? Read on.
Now, therefore, I will restore it unto thee.
Right, so I'm going to give it. I ain't going to let you give it back to me. I'm giving it back to you, son. Read.
Yet he restored the money unto his mother, and his mother took 200 shekels of silver.
So he refused to let her give it all back, so she went ahead, took the money, and took 200 shekels of silver. And what she do with it, Rick?
And gave them to the founder, who made thereof a graven image and a molten image. and they were in the house of Micah.
So she went and made her son some idols to set up in his house. Hey, I don't get it. Ephraim, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. Hey, we'll read on.
And the man Micah had an house of gods.
A house of what?
Of gods.
A house of idols. Read.
And made an ephod and teraphim, and consecrated one of his sons, who became his priest.
Right, so he consecrated one of his sons to become his fake little priest for them fake guys. Now hold that. Get the 2 Chronicles, I believe it is 22 and 3. So his mama went and bought him some idols. I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? But hey, Northern Kingdom, y'all always had a very, very bad thing with idolatry. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Read what you got.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 22 and verse 3.
Come on.
He also walked in the ways of the house of Ahab, for his mother was his counselor to do wickedly.
His mother was his counselor to do wickedly. So this happened later in time with another Israelite king. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't nothing new. You had instances, and this ain't no hatred for women. That ain't what we doing right now. We reading the Bible. All right, we reading the Bible, and sometimes, you know, Israelite mothers had the tendency to steer their son on the wrong path for whatever reason. You know, Scripture do say, you know, the woman came. But anyway, let's go back. You know, I don't want no sister, you know, trying to. Hey, I love y'all, but we gonna read the Bible though. Judges chapter 17 and verse 6.
Judges chapter 17 verse 6. In those days there was no king in Israel, but every man did that which was right in his own eyes.
Read.
And there was a
so
young...
that verse right there is very significant in understanding the book of Judges. You know, when you see the type of things that especially when you see how Dan get down.
Right.
And man, we just came out of the wilderness with Moses. We got laws, statutes, commandments, blah, blah, blah. And then we get the Judges and we straight niggas. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because we was as sheep without a shepherd. Meanwhile, you still got niggers today. Oh, don't join no camp.
Right.
Don't let no man teach you. You know what I'm saying? The whole individualite movement you see in the Bible, when it wasn't no leadership structure, I'm telling you, we did all manner of wickedness, primarily idolatry. For real. But read on, though.
Verse 7. And there was a young man out of Bethlehem, Judah, of the family of Judah, who was a Levite, and he sojourned there. And the man departed out of the city of Bethlehem, Judah, to sojourn where he could find a place. And he came to Mount Ephraim, to the house of Micah, as he sojourned. And Micah said unto him, Whence comest thou? And he said unto him, I am a Levite of Bethlehem, Judah, and I go to sojourn where I may find a place. And Micah said unto him, Dwell with me, and be unto me a father and a priest.
So this Levite, you know what I'm saying, he looking for somewhere to stay, you know what I'm saying, and then Micah, you know, invited, like, you know, where you from, you know, who you is. The dude let him know he a Levite. You know what the Levites was known for, right? Being priests, you know, having the knowledge to be able to do the sacrifices and all of that. So Micah said, you can stay with me, but let me hire you to be my personal priest for my idols. Read on.
And I will give thee 10 shekels of silver by the year, and a suit of apparel, and thy victuals. So the Levite went in.
And that was always Levite problem. You know what I'm saying? They would easily get corrupted for reward, you know what I'm saying, for gain. So, you know, it didn't say that the Levite was already in the midst of idolatry or whatever, but when the dude offered him some money, let me hire you to be a priest for my guys, the Levite, hey, he went right along with it. Read on.
Verse 11, and the Levite was content to dwell with the man, and the young man was unto him as one of his sons.
Read.
And Micah consecrated the Levite, and the young man became his priest, and was in the house of Micah.
Right, so this young Levite man became Micah priest and acted it, you know, as if he was his son. Read.
Verse 13, then said Micah, now know I that the Lord will do me good, seeing I have a Levite to my priest.
So even though he got a house full of idols, and he paying this dude to, be a priest to the idols, he's saying now since I didn't got a Levite, you know what I'm saying?
Straight.
I'm gonna be good. What the hell type of, logic is that? But it show you, hey, we was sick in the mind. Without leadership, without without a king, you know what I'm saying? The guy that's in, hey, we was tripping, we was tweaking. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm in the midst of idolatry, I'm gonna be all right because I got a Levite. That's crazy. That's crazy. Read chapter 18, verse 1.
Judges chapter 18, verse 1. In those days, there was no king in Israel.
You know, reiterating again, hey, there's no leadership, no government. All right, read on.
And in those days, the tribe of the Danites sought them an inheritance to dwell in. For unto that day, all their inheritance had not fallen unto them among the tribes of Israel. And the children of Dan sent of their family 5 men from their coast.
Right. So basically, like when you read the book of Joshua, you know what I'm saying? The Danites, they conquered the land. I believe it was called Lishem or whatever, but it wasn't enough to inhabit all of them. They hadn't attained to all of their land yet. So they were still going around and looking for land to conquer and to dwell in. All right, read on.
Men of Valor from Zorah and from Ishtaol to spy out the land and to search it. And they said unto them, go, search the land. When they came to Mount Ephraim, to the house of Micah, they lodged there.
Right, so on their way to spy out some land, you know what I'm saying, they stopped along Mount Ephraim, around Micah crib. You know what I'm saying? So they stayed with Micah. Remember, the brother who got a house full of idols and hired the Levite as a priest. Now, mind you, his gods, his images and all that was expensive as hell. You know what I'm saying? It was some stuff you'll see and, out of your wits or whatever, be covetous. So he letting these brothers, these Danites in his house with these expensive, looking idols or whatnot. So that, read on.
Verse 3. When they were by the house of Micah, they knew the voice of the young man, the Levite.
Right, so when they was by the house of Micah, they heard the young man, the Levite that Micah had hired, and they was like, we know, dude. We know his voice. Read on.
And they turned in thither and said unto him, who brought thee hither? And what makest thou in his place? And what hast thou here?
Right, asking a whole lot of, hey, man, say, look, man, hold on, what you got going? What you doing? What's going on? You a Levite priest. What the hell you doing here with him? What's up? Read on.
And he said unto them, thus and thus dealeth Micah with me, and hath hired me, and I am his priest.
So basically like, hey, look, this happened, woo, woo, he cut me this check, blah, 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 and I'm his priest now. That's what it is. Read.
Verse 5, and they said unto him, ask counsel, we pray thee, of God, that we may know whether our way which we go shall be prosperous. And the priest said unto them, go in peace. Before the Lord is your way wherein ye go.
Right. So, yeah, y'all good. Y'all going to be able to take whatever y'all trying to take. Read.
Then the 5 men departed and came to Laish and saw the people that were therein, how they dwelt careless.
So this is the land that they spying out that they want to take over. You know what I'm saying? So they peeping the people in the land out. They said they dwelt careless, basically as if, you know what I'm saying, they would at least expect somebody to run up in there and try to conquer it. You know what I'm saying? They just willy-nilly in this land. Read.
After the manner of the Zidonians, quiet and secure.
Right. Their lifestyle was based on the nearby Zidonians. But when those Zidonians dwelling with them, you know what I'm saying, but that's the nation that influenced their way of life. Quiet and secure, not too rowdy. You know what I'm saying? Basically a chill people that didn't really have no worries. Read on.
And there was no magistrate in the land that might put them to shame in anything.
The word magistrate means judge. There was no judicial system in that land that'll convict them if they went there and did a crime. They peeped that. Read on.
And they were far from the Zidonians, and had no business with any man.
Right, they was too far from the Zidonians for the Zidonians to try to interfere if somebody came in and tried to conquer them. Read on.
And they came unto their brethren to Zorah and Eshtaol. And their brethren said unto them, What say ye?
So they coming back to give a report of the land that they went and spied out. You know what I'm saying? What say ye? Read.
And they said, Arise, that we may go up against them, for we have seen the land, and behold, it is very good. And are ye still?
Right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all gonna sit here? Hey, that land, hey, it's ready. They careless. They ain't got no judge. Man, look, it's a lick.
The price is right.
It's up. Y'all gonna sit here? Read on.
Be not slothful to go and to enter to possess the land.
Listen here, we don't need to waste no time. We got to get on it right now. ASAP. Let's move. Read.
When ye go, ye shall come unto a people secure and to a large land. For God hath given it into your hands, a place where there is no want of anything that is in the earth.
Right. They got everything your heart desired. Read on.
And there went from thence of the family of the Danites out of Zorah, out of Eshtaol, 600 men appointed with weapons of war. And they went up and pitched in Kirjath Arim in Judah. Wherefore they called the place Mahanaim Dan unto this day. Behold, it is behind Kirjath Jearim. And said, and they passed thence unto Mount Ephraim, and came to unto the house of Micah.
Right. So on their pathway, once again, to go to the land, they stopped back by the house of Micah, the guy with the house full of idols. They hired the Levite priest. They stopped back through there. Read on.
Then answered the 5 men that went to spy out the country of Laish, and said unto their brethren,
Watch this.
Do ye know that there is in these houses an ephod and teraphim and a graven image and a molten image?
Hey, so remember the first time they went through, you know what I'm saying, Micah let them in their house, let them in his house, and they saw that expensive stuff and they got covetous. So as they pass it back through, they're like, hold on, wait. Hey, did y'all know what this thing got in his house? You know what I mean? You got teraphim, you got an ephod, you hear me? You know what I'm saying? That's a lick on the way to the lick. You see it? That's why the Bible there real quick. Go to Sirach 11. Sirach 11, I believe, is 28. That's why the Bible says, man, the Bible address everything. Sirach, is that it?
No, sir.
11 to 28, 29? Yeah, this here right there. Read that.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 11 and verse 29. Bring not every man into thine house.
What did God say?
Bring not every man into thine
You
house.
don't need to be bringing just anybody in your house. Because some niggers just ain't right. It could be your own brothers. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the things from the foretime running for our learning.
Right.
God said, don't bring just anybody in your house. Why? Read.
For the deceitful man hath many
Right,
trains.
meaning many tricks, many different ways to finesse you. You know what I'm saying? Out of your goods that's in your house. Let's go back. Let's go back. What verse we was at?
Verse
14.
14. Yes, sir. Judges chapter 18 and verse 14. Then answered the 5 men that went to spy out the country of Laish, and said unto their brethren, Do ye know that there is in these houses an ephod and teraphim and a graven image and a molten image? Now therefore consider what ye have to do.
So you already know what we finna do. You know what I'm saying? He got some expensive, nice guides in there for us to worship. You know what I'm saying? You already know what's up. Read on.
And they turned thitherward and came to the house of the young man, the Levite, even unto the house of Micah, and saluted him.
And what?
And saluted him.
So they come up to the brother house like, hey, shalom, bruh. That's why a deceitful man got many trains, many different tricks and approaches. You know what I'm saying? Shalom, you know, trying to make sure it's still in there. Shalom, read on.
And the 600 men appointed with their weapons of war, which were the children of Dan, stood by the entering of the gate. And the 5 men that went to spy out the land went up and came in thither.
So they went up into the house, read.
And took the graven image.
They did what?
And took the graven image. And the ephod. And the teraphim. And the molten image.
Right, so they sticking and moving. You know what I'm saying? They grabbing stuff that don't belong unto them out of this man's house. Idols. Read on.
And the priest stood in the entering of the gate with the 600 men that were appointed with weapons of war. And-
Right, so the priest, you know what I'm saying, he was in the gate with the 600 Danites. You know, they probably chilling, chopping it up, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all on the way to where? Okay, hey, I hope y'all, hey, you know what I'm saying? I told y'all, God got y'all. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you got 5 Negroites, and they're stealing idols. You know what I'm saying? Watch this, read.
Verse 18.
Uh-huh.
And these went into Micah's house and fetched the carved image, the ephod, and the teraphim, and the molten image. Then said the priest unto them, what do ye?
So, you know what I'm saying? He saw the dudes coming out with the stuff. He's like, oh, Lord, what y'all got going? What y'all doing? Read.
And they said unto him, hold thy peace, lay thine hand upon thy
I
mouth.
said, hey, bro, shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying? Shut the hell up right now. We ain't trying to, hey, mind your business. Read.
And go with us, and be to us a father and a priest.
Bro, shh, and come with us. Yeah. You know, you already know the land we finna go inhabit. You know what I'm saying? Don't be going trying to snitch, bro. Just roll with us. Read.
Is it better for thee to be a priest unto the house of one
Is
man,
it better for you to just be Micah priest? Read.
or that thou be a priest unto a tribe and a family in Israel?
Right, or to be a priest for this whole tribe. You know what I'm saying? We finna make you the man. You gonna be the high priest in the land of Dan. You know what I'm saying? And we finna go take over. Read on.
Verse 20. And the priest's heart was glad, and he took the ephod and the teraphim and the graven image and went in the midst of the people. So they turned and departed and put the little ones.
My bad, read that verse again.
Yes, sir. Judges chapter 18 and verse 20. And the priest's heart was glad, and he took the ephod and the teraphim and the graven image and went in the midst of the people.
Right, so it say the priest's heart was glad. You know what I'm saying? Meaning what? He had a real covetous spirit. You know what I'm saying? He was already disloyal to the Most High, sold out to be a priest for some idols. And then the dude, you know, the idolater he supposed to be loyal to, they like, man, you better be his priest, you roll with us. You serve a whole tribe. He like, hey, bet, you know, say no more. For real, disloyal Negro, man. Hey, our people was wicked as hell, bro.
Right.
For real. This the type of stuff you see go on in the hood. You know what I'm saying? For real, read on.
Verse 21. So they turned and departed and put the little ones and the cattle and the carriage before them.
Uh-huh.
And when they were a good way from the house of Micah, the men that were in the house near to Micah's house were gathered together and overtook the children of Dan.
So they got a good little distance away from Micah's house, but you know what I'm saying, Micah and his neighbors, they caught up with him. All right, read on.
And they cried unto the children of Dan, and they turned their faces and said unto Micah, what aileth thee, that thou comest with such a company?
And like, you know, they see Micah coming deep, like he on something. Like, I don't know what the hell wrong with you, bro. You bringing all these folks. What you got on your mind? Read on.
Verse 24.
Uh-huh.
And he said, ye have taken away my gods, which I made, and the priests, and ye are gone away.
You have taken away the gods that I made. Examine how stupid that sounds.
Right.
You taking away the gods that I made. What? How can you make your damn God? That's how simple we always been. How the hell can you make your God? Read on.
And what have I more? And what is this that ye say unto me? What aileth thee?
Right, what the hell you mean what's wrong with me? Y'all y'all took my idols and my priests. Hell you mean? What you mean what's wrong with me? Read on.
And the children of Dan said unto him, let not thy voice be heard among us, lest angry fellows run upon thee, and thou lose thy life with the lives of thy household.
Bruh, I don't think y'all understand what we just read. Hey, Dan, bruh, Dan was a problem. Ain't that right, Josiah? Dan was a problem. Listen to how they read that one more time. I'm gonna try to translate it. You know what I'm saying into modern. You know how we be looking on the Urban Dictionary.
Right.
I'm gonna try to translate this for y'all. Read it again.
Judges chapter 18, verse 25.
Uh-huh.
And the children of Dan said unto him, let not thy voice be heard among us.
Hey, we don't want to hear nothing else from you, little homie. You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to hear nothing else. Read.
Lest angry fellows run upon thee.
Because you going to piss some of these brothers off. And they going to run up on you. And you ain't ready for that. Read on.
And thou lose thy
And
life.
you going to lose your life playing with us. You know what I'm saying? For you going to lose your life. You make us mad. We run up on you. You ain't going to make it out alive, buddy. So it's best you just zip it. Read on.
With the lies of thy household.
And your folks. And your people with you. So you better hush it. For real. Read on.
And the children of Dan went their way. And when Micah saw that they were too strong for him, he turned and went back into his house.
So Micah got scared. He had to back down. He's like, nah, I ain't even need crazy. They're nice, man. Nah, I can't. It ain't nothing I can do. He had to go back to the crib, read.
And they took the things which Micah had made, and the priests which he had, and came unto Laish, unto a people that were at quiet and secure. And they smote them with the edge of the sword, and burnt the city with fire.
Right, so that land that they spied out, they went in there and they set it off. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Verse 28.
Uh-huh.
And there was no deliverer, because it was far from the Zidon.
Right, the Zidonians, you know, they went near enough to sit up there and defend them. Read.
And they had no business with any man.
Right, they ain't had no business with no neighboring cities, no allies. Read.
And it was in the valley that lieth by Beth-Rehob.
Uh-huh.
And they built a city and dwelt therein. And they called the name of the city Dan, after the name of Dan their father, who was born unto Israel. Howbeit, the name of the city was Laish at the first.
So this land that they conquered, you know what I'm saying, was called Laish, but they named it Dan. They named this land Dan. Let's see what they did once they moved into this land. Read.
And the children of Dan set up the graven image.
So the first thing they do when they get in the land that God allowed them to get, they set up a god that was made by a Negro that they just finessed, that they just punked. You know what I'm saying? That they just devoed. Right. They set up the gods he made. Read on.
And the children of Dan set up the graven image.
Uh-huh.
And Jonathan, the son of Gershom, the son of Manasseh, he and his sons were priests to the tribe of Dan until the day of the captivity of the land. And they set them up Micah's graven image, which he made all the time that the son of God, that the house of God was in Shiloh.
You all right, bro?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all praise to the Most High. So, as you can see, Dan, you know what I'm saying, from the book of Judges, they was heavy in idolatry, and they never changed. Let's jump ahead in history real quick. 1 Kings 12:27. So this was after, you know what I'm saying, Rehoboam took counsel from the young men instead of the wise men, and the kingdom ended up being split. All right, the southern kingdom went with Rehoboam, northern kingdom went with Jeroboam. All right, so now, you know what I'm saying, Judah, they had Jerusalem, meaning the temple, so on and so forth. So Jeroboam got to thinking, hell, if everybody feel like they got to go to the temple to worship God, I'm going to lose, you know what I'm saying, my people. I'm going to lose the people I'm reigning over. So watch what he did. Read what you got.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 12 and verse 27. If this people go up to do sacrifice in the house of the Lord at Jerusalem, then shall the heart of this people turn again unto their Lord, even unto Rehoboam, king of Judah. And they shall kill me and go again to Rehoboam, king of Judah.
Right, so if they, you know, they constantly going back there to worship, eventually their heart going to turn back to Rehoboam, and they going to kill me, and all Israel going to go back to being under him. So watch this, read.
Whereupon the king took counsel and made 2 calves of gold.
The key word made. He made. he created with his hands, you know what I'm saying, with his wicked hands, he made 2 calves ago. You know what I'm saying? He doubling up the iniquity of his forefathers. So remember, we already made this mistake in the wilderness. 1 calf. He double time. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
And said unto them, it is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem.
Y'all ain't got to go all the way down to Jerusalem. Y'all can stay up here in the north. Read.
Behold thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land
Look
of
at
Egypt.
these 2 calves of gold. These your God. You ain't got to go all the way to Jerusalem to serve God. Here go your guys right here. Calf 1, calf 2. Bling, bling. You know what I'm saying? That's probably what he made. You ain't no telling. You know, what he had them call them. You know what I'm saying? Bling 1, bling 2. 2 gold calves. These the ones that brought you out of Egypt. Read on.
Verse 29.
Watch this.
And he set the one in Bethel, and the other he put in Dan.
Where did he put the other calf?
The other he put in Dan.
Put in Dan. Read on.
Verse 30. And this thing became a sin.
A what?
A sin.
Of course. Read.
For the people went to worship before the one, even unto Dan.
Right, so the majority, everybody was going to Dan. To do what? To serve an idol. We know what an idol really is, the damn devil. You know what I'm saying? So Dan was out since the book of Judges all the way up through history with the kings and all of that. They was very, very heavy in idolatry. You know what I'm saying? For some odd reason. Let's get that in Amos chapter 8, verse 14. That's why when you read in Revelation 7, you know what I'm saying? They ain't got no damn gate. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no gate. They intertwine with Benjamin for the most part. Read what you got.
The book of Amos, chapter 8 and verse 14. They that swear by the sin of Samaria.
Read.
And say, thy God, O Dan.
Thy God, O who?
O Dan.
O who?
O Dan.
O who?
O Dan.
O Dan. Thy God, thy idol, O Dan. Read.
Liveth.
Liveth. Mind you, it's an idol made with hands. But somehow it's alive. Read on.
And the manner of Beersheba liveth.
Read.
Even they shall fall.
Even they, meaning who? Even Dan shall fall in what?
And never rise up again.
That's why they're no longer, you know what I'm saying, they don't have an inheritance in the kingdom as a tribe of themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know. That's why they ain't on the 12 drive chart. Right. You know what I'm saying? For real. Let's go back to Judges 19 and 1. And I already know I got some scoffers on there talking about some conspiracy about Dan. Look, listen, the Bible say what it say, bro. That's why they was discontinued as a tribe. You know what I'm saying? They was very, very heavy in idolatry. The Lord said, y'all ain't going to never rise again. All right? Judges 19, verse 1 now.
Judges chapter 19 and verse 1. And it came to pass in those days when there was no king in Israel.
Reiterating once again, there's still no leadership structure. There's still sheep without a shepherd here. Read on.
That there was a certain Levite sojourning on the side of Mount Ephraim, who took to him a concubine out of Bethlehem, Judah.
Right, so usually when the Bible refers to us having concubines, I'm talking about our heathen wives. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you know, the women that were servants that we dealt with on that level, then was our concubines. All right, read on.
And his concubine played the whore against him. And went away from him unto her father's house to Bethlehem, Judah, and was there for 4 whole months.
So just to further show, go to Jeremiah 3 and 1 real quick, just to further show like how we was doing stuff, you know what I'm saying, and when we didn't have no king over us. Now mind you, it say that this woman, she played the whore against him. We know what that mean, right? Right. She went and laid with another man. And, you know, she was MIA 4 months. She ain't come back to the crib 4 months. You know what I'm saying? So let's see, you know, hey, if your woman played a hoe against you, what you supposed to do or not do? Let's see, read what you got.
Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 1. They say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him, and become another man's.
Right, she lay down with another man. Read.
Shall he return unto her again?
Shall he get back with that? Read on.
Shall not that land be greatly polluted?
So when you do that, when you go back to a defiled woman, you defile the land. That's what Deuteronomy chapter 24, verses 1 through 4 say. It said the land is going to be defiled when you do that. So God ain't permit that. But without the king being in the land, without, real law enforcement, let's see what this guy did. Let's go back to Judges chapter 19, verse 3.
Judges chapter 19 and verse 3.
Uh-huh.
And her husband arose and went after her to speak friendly unto her.
Lover boy, sucker. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just let her be, what they
Streets.
say, let her go, dog. That ain't
Right.
your whole dog. Instead of doing that, he go and speak friendly unto her. Read on.
And her husband arose and went after her to speak friendly unto her, and to bring her again, having his servant with him, and a couple of asses. And she brought him into her father's house. And when the father of the damsel saw him, he rejoiced to meet him.
Right. So, this lover boy, he go back, speak friendly to her, bring her gifts and all that. So she be all right, come on into my father's house. You know what I'm saying? We good. All right, read on.
And his father-in-law, the damsel's father, retained him. And he abode with him 3 days. So they did eat and drink and lodge there. And it came to pass on the 4th day, when they arose early in the morning, that he rose up to depart. And the damsel's father said unto his son-in-law, Comfort thine heart with a morsel of bread, and afterward go your way.
So, like them old men or whatever, just like Jeremiah, when we was your neighbor across the street, like when you get to talking to them or being around them because they ain't never got nobody to talk to, they don't want you to go. They going to talk your ear out. They going to try to get you to stay as long as you possibly can. That was his brother father-in-law. You know what I'm saying? That was the concubine daddy. He was not trying to let the Levite go. Nah, man, stay a longer eat, then you could go your way. Read on.
Verse 6.
Uh-huh.
And they sat down and did eat and drink, both of them together.
Uh-huh.
For the damsel's father had said unto the man, Be content, I pray thee, and tarry all night, and let thine heart be merry.
So he got him good and full. He was like, bro, you don't want to go try. Man, just chill, relax, and stay another night. All right, read on.
And when the man rose up to depart, his father-in-law urged him. Therefore he lodged there again.
So the next day, same thing. Hey, man, man, come on, man. I'm cooking lamb today. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. One more day. All right, man. All right, sir. Read.
And he arose early in the morning on the 5th day
So
to
it
depart.
been 5 days. It was just a one-night plan. He done stretched it to 5 days now. You know what I'm saying? So the brother get up on the 5th day. He like, man, I'm finna go. Read.
And the damsel's father said, Comfort thine heart, I pray thee. And they tarried until afternoon. And they did eat both of them.
Right, so they stuck around till afternoon on this 5th day. You know what I'm saying? Probably, about 2, 3, you know what I'm saying? Read on.
And when the man rose up to depart, he and his concubine and his servant, his father-in-law, the damsel's father, said unto him, Behold, now the day draweth toward evening.
So now look, this right here, this is a cutter for the sun. The day starting sunrise doctrine. It's a big cutter. You know what I'm saying? But remember it said that they tarried to the afternoon. So that's like 3, 4 in the evening. You know what I'm saying? The father-in-law, he trying to, man, it's getting dark now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might as well chill on now. The day drawing towards evening. Read on.
I pray you tarry all night.
Let's go on and stay the rest of the night. Read.
Behold, the day groweth to an end.
Stop. So he said the day draweth towards evening and comes back and says the day is drawing to an end. Meaning what? According to the Bible, for you spoiled milk in the morning drinkers, according to the Bible, the day ends at evening time. Meaning what? If it ends at evening time, it's going to start over at evening time. Meaning what? A day is from evening to evening,
That's right.
including the Sabbath. I can't believe so many people got beguiled off of that. And it's still, to this day, no works, no fruits to show that was the right doctrine. You know what I'm saying? For real. But anyway, anywho, let's continue with the story. Read on.
Lodge here, that thine heart may be merry, and tomorrow get you early on your way, that thou mayest go home.
All right, one more night, y'all. And then I promise y'all gonna be good. Y'all gonna be well rested. You know what I'm saying? Just don't go out in the night. You know what I'm saying? Just stay here for the rest of the night. Read on.
But the man would not tarry that night.
The Levite said, man, hell no, I ain't going. It's been 5 days, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I got business to handle. I got stuff to tend to. I ain't going. We finna hit the road, pal. Read.
But he rose up and departed, and came over against Jebus, which is Jerusalem.
Right, so he came over against Jebus, which is Jerusalem. So I know some people might be like, what? You know what I'm saying? So before the book of 2 Samuel, before King David arose up and took, you know what I'm saying, Jerusalem from the Jebusites, that's who was dwelling there. You know what I'm saying? You read about that in 2 Samuel, the 5th chapter. So during this time, let's see why it was still Jebus. Go to Joshua chapter 15 and verse 63 real quick. Joshua chapter 15 and verse 63. Read.
The book of Joshua, chapter 15 and verse 63.
Come on.
As for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
The what?
The inhabitants of Jerusalem.
Because remember, when we was in the wilderness, you know what I'm saying, all the promised land consisted of, you know what I'm saying, primarily Canaanites, you know what I'm saying, different African tribes or whatever dwelling in the lands. You know what I'm saying? The people that inhabited the place that the Lord chose was the Jebusites. They were the original inhabitants of Jerusalem, right?
The children of Judah could not drive them out.
And the children of Judah, you know, they weren't able to completely drive them out of the land when they came out of the wilderness, right?
But the Jebusites dwell with the children of Judah at Jerusalem unto this day.
Right, until that day. So now let's go back. That's why you see it here called Jebus, because that's where the Jebusites was dwelling in before King David took control of it. All right, so let's go back where we was at.
Yes, sir. Judges chapter 19 and verse 10. But the man would not tarry that night, but he rose up and departed, and came over against Jebus, which is Jerusalem. And there were with him 2 asses saddled. His concubine also was with him. And when they were by Jebus, the day was far spent. And the servant said unto his master, Come, I pray thee, and let us turn into this city of Jebusites, and lodge in it.
So, you know, hey, his father-in-law did try to tell him, hey, you know, just go in the morning. You know what I'm saying? But he said, nah, I got to get going or whatever, even though the day was drawing towards evening. So now it's nighttime, they ain't made it home. So, okay, let's dwell with one of these Jebusites. You know, let's lodge with a Jebusite. Read.
Verse 12. And his master said unto him, We will not turn aside hither into the city of a stranger, that is not of the children of Israel. We will pass over to Gibeah.
So his master was like, hell no, we ain't staying with no heathens, bruh. We ain't staying with nobody that ain't our brothers. You know, read on.
And he said unto his servants, Come, and let us draw near to one of these places to lodge all night in Gibeah or Ramah. And they passed on and went their way. And the sun went down upon them when they were by Gibeah, which belongeth to Benjamin.
So by the time it got dark, they done made it to the land of Benjamin. Read on.
And they turned aside thither to go in and to lodge in Gibeah. And when he went in, he sat him down in a street of the city, for there was no man that took them into his house to lodge.
Right, so the Benjamites wasn't so friendly. You know what I'm saying? Didn't nobody let him come stay. He sitting in the damn street. See how Benji do, man? What the hell is this? Read on.
And behold, there came an old man from his work out of the field at even, which was also of Mount Ephraim, and he sojourned in Gibeah. But the men of the place were Benjamites.
So you had a brother that was originally from Mount Ephraim, you know what I'm saying, that sojourned in the land of the Benjamites. So he was friendly enough, you know what I'm saying, to come out and, read on.
Verse 17.
Uh-huh.
And when he had lifted up his eyes, he saw a wayfaring man in the street of the city.
That's referring to the Levite, read.
And the old man said, Whither goest thou?
Uh-huh.
And whence comest thou?
Right, where you going and where you coming from? Read.
And he said unto him, We are passing from Bethlehem, Judah, toward the side of Mount Ephraim. From thence am I.
Right, I'm from Mount Ephraim. Read.
And I went to Bethlehem, Judah, but I am now going to the house of the Lord, and there is no man that receiveth me to house.
Right, so I'm on my way to the house of the Lord, but it ain't nobody that's letting me stay with them. You know what I'm saying? Since it ain't got dark, I'm trying to lodge for a night, but ain't nobody letting me stay with them. Read on.
Yet there is both straw and provender for our asses, and there is bread and wine also for me,
Read.
and for thy handmaid, and for the young man which is with thy servants. There is no want of anything. And the old man said, Peace be with thee. Howsoever, let all thy wants lie upon me. Only lodge not in the streets.
Right, so the old man was like, look, bro, hey, you ain't got to worry about nothing, you know what I'm saying? Because remember, he know the manner of the people in the city. He know how the Benjamites get down. He like, look, bro, hey, I got whatever you need, whatever you want, I can take care of you. But as long as you don't stay in these streets with the Benjamites out here, you know what I'm saying? Long as you don't stay in these streets, bro, please come in here with me. I got you. All right, read on.
Verse 21. So he brought him into his house and gave provender unto the asses, and they washed their feet and did eat and drink.
Right, so they having a good jolly old time. What? Read on.
Now as they were making their hearts merry,
Right, having a good old jolly old time. Read.
behold, the men of the city, certain sons of Belial.
Certain sons of Belial. Y'all know what that mean, right? That mean child of the devil. You had some Benjamites that was demons. You know what they said? Demon seed.
Right.
You had a lot of demon seeds out there in the land of Benjamin at this time. Read.
Beset the house round about.
They what?
Beset the house round about.
They surrounded this old man house. Read.
And beat at the door.
They what?
Beat at the door.
This the middle of the night. It's dark outside. You know what I'm saying? And they surround this man's house. Old man beating at the damn door. Read.
And spake to the master of the house, the old man, saying, Bring forth the man that came into thine house, that we may know him.
Nah. Let me just tell y'all. Well, I don't know. I really want to ask, but I don't got the, whatever. But you think that's saying, hey, we want to, we don't know the brother's name.
Right.
We want to get to know them. We ain't get to introduce ourselves. They said, bring him out that we may know him. Let me give y'all a hint. Let me see if I can, do it without being, too flamboyant. In other words, they were saying, bring him out that we may know him. Because that's how that's really what it talks. We gonna prove it though. But that's really what the Benjamites. That's really that's what they was howling for that night. Read on.
Verse 23. And the man, the master of the house, went out unto them and said unto them, Nay, my brethren, nay, I pray you, do not so wickedly.
Right. No, my brethren, do not so wickedly. Read.
Seeing that this man is come into mine house, do not this folly.
Don't do this folly, y'all. Read on.
Behold, here is my daughter.
Here I got a daughter. Read.
A maiden, and his concubine.
And he got a concubine. Read.
Them I will bring out now, and humble ye them.
And what?
Humble ye them.
Humble ye them. So, hold on, wait. So, this is another, term, that we associate with something else, but, they said that we may know them. The dude saying, here you go, so you can humble them. What do these words really mean, though? You know what I'm saying? What does it mean in this context? Here, I got, man, we got, a couple concubines, we got a daughter, man. Here, you humble them. Read.
And do with them what seemeth good unto you. But unto this man do not so vile a thing.
So, since when has it became a vile thing to know? Amen. What is this vile thing we talking about? You know what I'm saying? What is this vile thing that Benjamites were trying to do to this brother? Let's see. Let's get because I know it's ringing bells for people that know the Bible. It's basically a rerun of a very familiar story of ancient time. Let's get that in Genesis chapter 19. Start at verse 1.
Genesis chapter 19 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And there came two angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom.
Uh-huh.
And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them. And he bowed himself with his face toward the ground.
Uh-huh.
And he said, Behold now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early, and go on your ways.
Uh-huh.
And they said, Nay, but we will abide in the street all night.
So, you know what I'm saying? Lot seen the angels. He was like, hey, look, y'all come stay with me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I got, y'all gonna eat, y'all gonna wash up, y'all gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? They're like, no, we just gonna hang out in the street, check the city out. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what Lot's response was. Read.
Verse 3.
Uh-huh.
And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him, and entered into his house.
So he pressed upon them greatly, like, no. I'm not letting y'all stay. No. Y'all not staying in the street. You know what I'm saying? These streets ain't for y'all. Trust me. So we got them to come into his house. Read.
And he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat.
Right, they made themselves merry together. They having a good, jolly old time. Read on.
But before they lay down,
Off they full stomach, before they get the chance to go on and lay it down and go to sleep, that's how you know it's late at night. What happened?
the men of the city, even the men of Sodom,
Even the man of who?
the men of Sodom,
Even the man of Sodom. Read.
compassed the house round, both old and young, all the people from every quarter.
So they surrounding Lot's house. Let's see what they trying to do. Read.
And they called unto Lot, and said unto him, Where are the men which thou came into thee this night?
Well, where the man's at? that came into your house, boy. Where the man's at? Read.
Bring them out unto us, that we may know them.
Bring them out unto us that we may know them. That we may know them. Read on.
Verse 6.
Uh-huh.
And Lot went out at the door unto them, and shut the door after him. And said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly.
What's so wicked about wanting to know a brother? Do not so wickedly. Let's see. Read on.
Behold now, I have two daughters, which have not known man.
So now we're starting to get an understanding of what the word "know" means in this context. Lot is saying, look, I got two daughters which have not known man. But they know him, right? You know what I'm saying? So what is this really talking about? It said I have two daughters which have not known man, meaning what? No man has laid down with them yet. This type of "know" is referring to sexual intercourse. Right. That's the getting to know that they were trying to accomplish with the same sex as them, same gender. You know what I'm saying? Sex, same sex. That's the getting to know that they was trying to do. Read on.
Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof.
So very similar to the brother in Judges. You know what I'm saying? Here I got two daughters. To do the Judges say I got a wife, I got a daughter, I got a concubine. This and this and that. Same thing. Let's see how the men of Sodom responded. Read.
And they said, Stand back. And they said again, This one fellow came into sojourn.
Right, just like the dude in the land of Benjamin. He not a Benjamite. You know, he from Mount Ephraim. They said, look, this man came to sojourn, meaning basically be a guest in our land. Read.
And he will needs be a
And
judge.
he think he can tell us what to do? Read on.
Now will we deal worse with thee than with them.
Mm.
And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door.
Right, so these sodomites was not playing no games. They was trying to get them some, you know what I'm saying, they were trying to slam hams. They was not playing. Go to Romans 1:26. You know, do not so vile a thing. Let's see what this vile thing is. Let's hit it on the head. Read.
The book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 26.
Uh-huh.
For this cause God gave them up unto vile affections.
Unto what?
Vile affections.
So he finna go into these vile affections. This is why the brother from Mount Ephraim was like, don't do so vile a thing. It's finna show the vile thing that they was trying to do. Read on.
For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature.
Come on.
And likewise also the men. Leaving the natural use of the woman.
Leaving the natural use of the woman. Read on.
Burned in their lust one toward another.
Stop. So what is this going into? I don't want to be so graphic. You know what I'm saying? But God made the man with a certain instrument. You know what I'm saying? And he made a woman with something to be able to receive that instrument to produce, you know what I'm saying, children. That's their natural use. It says here, these vile affections that men started to get was burning in their lust towards one another. So the hell with the natural use of the woman, the hole that God gave them, I want to go into the hole that the man has. That's the vile affections that Benjamin had on their mind in the book of Judges. Read on.
Men with men, working that which is unseemly.
Working that which is unseemly. You can drop that. Let's go back now. Let's go back. Hey, wait, we all, man, the tribes, we all got some jacked up history, you know, somewhere down the line. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? For real. At least y'all got Paul. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy.
Right.
You know, Paul redeemed y'all, you know, for the most part. But it is what it is. All right, where we left off at?
Verse 25.
Okay, read.
Judges chapter 19 and verse 25.
Uh-huh.
But the men would not hearken to him. So the man took his concubine and brought her forth unto them. And they knew her.
And they what?
And they knew her.
Meaning they what? They intercoursed with her. Now, this was not, you know what I'm saying, voluntary. You know what I'm saying? But they knew her, read on.
And abused her all the night until the morning.
Right, so they. Meaning it's multiple, meaning I know a lot of y'all seen Players Club, right?
Right.
That wasn't the first time, you know what I'm saying, that occurred right there. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know we think.
Right.
We're reading about this in the Bible. They forcefully running a train because they couldn't get the you know what I'm saying? They couldn't get the mail. So out of their anger, they run a train on this woman, this concubine. Read.
And when the day began to spring, they let her go. Then came the woman in the dawning of the day, and fell down at the door of the man's house where her Lord was, till it was light.
Right. So, you know what I'm saying, they did what they did with her, and they let her go. They kicked out. They said, oh, we done with her. You know what I'm saying? And, she all toe up, and she make it to the dude from Mount Ephraim though. Read.
And her Lord rose up in the morning and opened the doors of the house and went out to go his way. And behold, the woman, his concubine, was fallen down at the door of the house, and her hands were upon the threshold.
Right, so she laying at the door. Watch this, read.
And he said unto her, up, and let us be going.
All right, come on, girl, look, it's time to go. Let's go. Let's get up out of here. Read on.
But none answered.
But she wasn't responding. She was irresponsive. Read.
Then the man took her up upon an ass.
And he knew, it was over with. She was gone. There was no more spirit left in her. So he lifted her up, put on the donkey, read.
And the man rose up and gat him unto his place.
So real quick, let's hold that. Let's go to Deuteronomy 22. So what we just witnessed right there was, you know what I'm saying, gang rape. You know what I'm saying? And they talking about listen, we not at all do we permit in any way, shape, or form rape at all. The Bible say marriage is honorable.
Right.
Only then is the bed undefiled. You see what I'm saying? What they did to the sister was against God. But you got men out here saying, she's 12 years old, and she, man, I'm telling you, bro, hey, it's people out here giving the Israelites a bad name. But, you know, we going to preach the laws of God. Read what you got, 22:25.
Yes, sir. Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 25.
Come on.
But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her,
Man, what?
and the man force
The
her,
man force her, meaning this is against her will. This is against her will. Read.
and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die.
So this is a sin punishable by death. Worthy of death. If you force a woman, you have intercourse with a woman against her will. That is rape. And God don't play that. Let's see why. Read on.
Verse 26.
Uh-huh.
But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death.
Right. Don't do nothing to that damsel. Read.
For as when a man riseth against his neighbor,
Read.
and slayeth him,
And what?
and slayeth him,
What is that called when a man rises against his neighbor and slay him? That's murder.
right.
That's murder. That's one of the big 10. Thou shalt not kill. God said, just like when a man commits murder, read,
Even so is this matter.
rape is the equivalent. So even though the damsel may survive, but it really takes a toll on them. And as we saw in the book of Judges, especially in a situation like gang rape, she literally died. She literally got murdered. For real, the Benji. Oof. All praises for the washing of regeneration. Like it says Titus 3 and 5. All right, where we at? Judges. Yeah, Judges chapter 19. Pick up. Uh-oh. All right,
Check. Okay.
go ahead.
Judges chapter 19 and verse 29.
Uh-huh.
And when he was come into his house and took his knife he took a knife and laid hold on his concubine and divided her together with her bones into 12 pieces and sent her into all the coasts of Israel. Verse 30. And it was so.
All right, so what you see going on is he took his concubine dead body, you know, the victim of the gang rape, took her dead body and chopped her up into 12 pieces to send it throughout the, to the 12 tribes to make them aware of what happened. Read.
Judges chapter 19 and verse 30. And it was so that all that saw it said, there was no such deed done, nor seen from the day that the children of Israel came up out of the land of Egypt unto this day. Consider of it, take advice, and speak your
Hey,
minds.
we ain't never seen a situation like this. You know what I'm saying? Somebody divided up into 12. What the hell going on? You know, we gotta have a meeting about this one. Let's read chapter 20 and verse 1. Let's try to fly through this chapter.
Yes, sir. Judges chapter 20 and verse 1. Then all the children of Israel went out, and the congregation was gathered together as one man, from Dan even to Beersheba, with the land of Gilead, unto the Lord in Mizpah.
Uh-huh.
And the chief of all the people, even of all the tribes of Israel, presented themselves in the assembly of the people of God, 400,000 footmen that drew sword.
Right, so you got men ready for war behind a woman, you know what I'm saying, a victim. All right. They say we hate women though. You know what I'm saying? No, this ain't what this is. We rebuke wicked women. You know what I'm saying? Which is actually love within itself. So we really love all our sisters. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, go ahead though.
Verse 3.
Uh-huh.
Now the children of Benjamin heard that the children of Israel were gone up to
The
Mizpah.
children of Benjamin caught ear, you know what I'm saying, that the other 12 they was linking up for a council. Read.
Then said the children of Israel, tell us, how was this
How the
wickedness?
hell did this happen? You know what I'm saying? How did she die? Read.
And the Levite, the husband of the woman that was slain, answered and said, I came into Gibeah, that belongeth to Benjamin, I and my concubine to lodge.
Read.
And the men of Gibeah rose against me, and beset the house round about upon me by night, and thought to have slain me. And my concubine have they forced.
Have they what?
Have they forced.
Have they what?
Have they forced.
Have they raped? Read.
That she is dead.
That she is dead. Why it is murder? The guy said it's murder. Whether she live or die, it's still murder. But read on.
And I took my concubine and cut her in pieces and sent her throughout all the country of the inheritance of Israel. For they have committed lewdness and folly in Israel.
So you telling me that rape in the Bible, according to the Bible, it is lewdness and folly. Nowhere in the Bible will you be able to see that and say that it's lawful. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I'm telling you, some of y'all brothers and sisters be watching them sick and perverted camps. Hey, be very mindful. Read on.
Behold, ye are all children of Israel. Give here your advice and counsel. And
Right,
all
so let's see if the rest of the tribes was like, bro, relax. It happens all the time. You know how we get down. Let's see how they responded. Read.
verse 8. And all the people arose as one man, saying, we will not any of us go to his tent, neither will any of us turn into his house.
Right, ain't none of us finna go back to the crib. You know what I'm saying? We finna ride about this one. Read on.
But now this shall be the thing which we will do to Gibeah.
Come on.
We will go up by lot against it.
Read.
And we will take 10 men of 100 throughout all the tribes of Israel, and 100 of 1,000, and 1,000 of 10,000, to fetch victual up for the people, that they may do when they come to Gibeah of Benjamin, according to all the folly that they have wrought in
So
Israel.
look, we finna squad up. We finna go see what's up with Benjamin. You know what I'm saying? About who did this. Read.
So all the men of Israel were gathered against the city, knit together as one man.
Right, knit together as one man, because they didn't play about no gang rape. You know what I'm saying? That was intolerable. Even when we was wicked and without a king, you know what I'm saying? We still had a little bit of morals left.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Read on.
And the tribes of Israel sent men through all the tribe of Benjamin, saying, what wickedness is this that is done among you?
The hell y'all got going, Benjamin? What is this that y'all have done? Read.
Now therefore deliver us the men, the children of Belial, which are in Gibeah, that we may put them to death and put away evil from Israel. But the children of Benjamin would not hearken to the voice of their brethren, the children of Israel.
Right, so, all the tribes was like, give us the brothers, the Bati boys, the Sodomites amongst Benjamin that, failed to be able to fulfill their lust toward a man and rape the sister. Let us get them and put them to death, because all of that is worthy of death, what they had going on. But Benjamin was like, hell no. No, you're not taking my brothers. Read on.
Verse 14.
Uh-huh.
But the children of Benjamin gathered themselves together out of the cities unto Gibeah, to go out to battle against the children of Israel.
So the Benjamites said, we're going to gather together and ride for our Sodomite brethren. Crazy. Read on.
And the children of Benjamin were numbered at that time out of the cities 26,000 men that drew sword, beside the inhabitants of Gibeah, which were numbered 700 chosen men.
Read.
Among all this people, there were 700 chosen men left-handed. Every one could sling stones at an hair breadth.
At a what?
At an hair breadth, and not miss.
So not only was they able to sling stones at the velocity of a damn Glock 945, but they was accurate. They wouldn't go miss with that left hand. Benjamin to be some sodomites and some, you know what I'm saying? They was about that action.
Right.
They wasn't no joke. Read on.
And the men of Israel, beside Benjamin, were numbered 400,000 men, and that drew sword. All these were men of war.
So you got 400,000 versus 26,000. You would think this gonna be a landslide victory, huh? Let's see. Read on.
And the children of Israel arose and went up to the house of God and asked counsel of God and said, which of us shall go up first to the battle against the children of Benjamin? And the Lord said, Judah shall go up first.
All right, Judah, you go up first. Read.
And the children of Israel rose up in the morning and encamped against Gibeah.
Come on.
And the men of Israel went out to battle against Benjamin. And the men of Israel put themselves in array to fight against them at Gibeah.
Read.
And the children of Benjamin came forth out of Gibeah and destroyed down to the ground of the Israelites that day 22,000 men.
So the Benjamites open a can of whoop. You know what? On Judah, hey, it is what it is. Hey, you know, to be some sodomites.
Hey, folks can fight.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, hey, Benjamin, y'all had them things. Y'all went playing no games with Judah. Y'all gave Judah them things that work. All right, read on.
Verse 21.
Uh-huh.
And the children of Benjamin came forth out of Gibeah and destroyed down to the ground. Verse 22, sorry.
Yeah.
And the people, the men of Israel, encouraged themselves.
Man, no. We can't go out like that. We can't let no sodomites do us like that. You know what I'm saying? No, we can't go out like that. Read on.
And set their battle again in array in the place where they put themselves in array the first day.
Read.
And the children of Israel went up and wept before the Lord until even, and asked counsel of the Lord, saying, shall I go up again to battle against the children of Benjamin, my brother? And the Lord said, go up against
The
him.
Lord said, yeah, go up against them. Read.
And the children of Israel came near against the children of Benjamin the second day. And Benjamin went forth against him out of Gibeah the second day, and destroyed down to the ground of the children of Israel again.
Oh, what?
Again.
Benjamin got endurance, stamina. You know, they weren't tired from the day before that. They had fresh legs come in and still gave them the business. Benjamin was ruthless, man. Ruthless. Read.
Again, 18,000 men. All these drew the sword.
Read.
Then all the children of Israel and all the people went up and came unto the house of God and wept and sat there before the Lord and fasted that day until even and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord.
Read.
And the children of Israel inquired of the Lord, for the ark of the covenant of God was there in those days. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, stood before it in those days, saying, shall I yet again go out to battle against the children of Benjamin, my brother, or shall I cease?
Right. Do you want us to just stop? Because we steadily getting whooped. You know what I'm saying? We taking L's. Read on.
And the Lord said, go up, for the morrow I will deliver them into thine hand.
Nah, for real though. Tomorrow, y'all gonna win tomorrow. For real, no cap. Read.
And Israel set liars in wait round about Gibeah.
So now they got a strategy. You know what I'm saying? Now they ain't just going head up because Benjamin, hey, I'm telling you, their left handed, you can't beat them. So now they got a strategy. Now they gonna do an ambush. Read.
And the children of Israel went up against the children of Benjamin on the third day and put themselves in array against Gibeah as at other times.
Right. So they had some Israelites go, you know, head up again to make it seem like they was doing the same thing they did before. Read.
And the children of Benjamin went out against the people, and they're drawn away from the city.
They was what?
And were drawn away from the city.
They was drawn away from their city. Read.
And they began to smite of the people and kill as at other times.
So they got the whooping Israel, you know what I'm saying, by themselves as they did previously already. But read on.
In the highways, of which one goeth up to the house of God, and the other to Gibeah in the field, about 30 men of Israel. And the children of Benjamin said, they are smitten down before us, as at the first.
Right, we whooping them again, like we've been doing, read.
But the children of Israel said, let us flee and draw them from the city unto the highways.
Right, but little do they know, they falling into the new plan of the Israelites. You know what I'm saying? They got with the rest of the Israelites. They got Benjamin to get drawn from their land, which is exactly what they wanted them to do. Read on.
And all the men of Israel rose up out of their place.
So the ones that didn't go head up against them, that was lying in wait around Benjamin, they got up at their place. Read.
and put themselves in array at Baal Tamar. And the liars in wait of Israel came forth out of their places,
Come on.
even out of the meadows of Gibeah.
Read.
And there came against Gibeah 10,000 chosen men out of all Israel, and the battle was sore. But they knew not that evil was near them.
Right. So they didn't. They had yet to understand. They thought, nah, we finna whoop them. We finna whoop them some more. But watch this. Read.
And the Lord smote Benjamin before Israel, and the children of Israel destroyed of the Benjamites that day 25,000 and 100 men. All these drew the sword.
So now he finna explain how Benjamin ended up taking the L that day. Watch this. Read.
So the children of Benjamin saw that they were smitten. For the men of Israel gave place to the Benjamites, because they trusted unto the liars in wait which they had set beside Gibeah.
Read.
And the liars in wait hasted and rushed upon Gibeah. And the liars in wait drew themselves along and smote all the city with the edge of the sword. Now there was an appointed sign between the men of Israel and the liars in wait.
Right. We had some signals, you know what I'm saying, or something to, give a cue on the liars in wait to do what they had to do to get this victory. Read.
That they should make a great flame with smoke rise up out of the city.
So this was the purpose of drawing the Benjamites out of their city. The ones that's lying in wait, they gonna spark a fire, you know what I'm saying, in the land of Benjamin. Read on.
Verse 39. And when the men of Israel retired in the battle, Benjamin began to smite and kill of the men of Israel about 30 persons.
Come on.
For they said, surely they are smitten down before us, as in the first battle. But when the flame began to arise up out of the city with a pillar of smoke, the Benjamites looked upon them and said, behold, the flame of the city ascended up to heaven.
Right. So they thinking they whooping tail, and then they look back. They see flame and smoke. They're like, walk one. And they turn around, you know what I'm saying, to go see what the hell going on. Why the city on fire? Read on.
And when the men of Israel turned again, the men of Benjamin were amazed, for they saw that evil was come upon them.
At that moment, they knew, nah, it's we finna take the L today. It's a wrap. They didn't have it. They didn't fulfill their little strategy on us. Read on.
Therefore they turned their backs before the men of Israel unto the way of the wilderness.
Right, so they just took off running. Read.
But the battle overtook
But
them.
the Israelites caught up with them. Read.
And them which came out of the cities they destroyed in the midst of them.
And they got destroyed. Read.
Thus they enclosed the Benjamites round about and chased them and trode them down with ease over against Gibeah toward the sunrise. And there fell of Benjamin 18,000 men. All these were men of valor.
Read.
And they turned and fled toward the wilderness unto the rock of Rimmon.
Come on.
And they gleaned of them in the highways 5,000 men.
Read.
And pursued hard after them unto Gidom, and slew 2,000 men of them.
Read.
So that all which fell that day of Benjamin were 25,000 men that drew the sword. All these were men of valor.
So all the mighty men, all the little left hand, you know what I'm saying, Glock shooters, no pistol, just the hand, you know what I'm saying? All of them, 25,000 of them, got put to death. Read.
Verse 47. But 600 men turned and fled to the wilderness unto the rock Rimmon, and abode in the rock Rimmon 4 months.
So you had 600 Benjamites that was able to escape the wrath, for the tribe not to be utterly destroyed. All right, read on.
And the men of Israel turned again upon the children of Benjamin and smote them with the edge of the sword, as well the men of every city as the beasts, and all that came to hand, Also, they set on fire all the cities that they came to.
Right, so Benjamin got judged big time. You know what I'm saying? The Most High damn near pushed the reset button on their tribe. You know what I'm saying? For in the next chapter 21, I forgot who doing it tomorrow, but you're going to see how they was able to, they had to take drastic measures to continue producing as a tribe. That's why when you get the first Samuel with Saul, he said, I come from Benjamin, the smallest tribe. It's just showing you what minimized them. You know what I'm saying? The judgment for their sodomite slash rape, you know what I'm saying, activity that they did. You know what I'm saying? The Most High judged them. But like I said, our praises for the washing of regeneration. I know some mighty Benjamite brothers, man. Shout out to Captain Shemaiah,
Right.
Captain Amaziah, you know what I'm saying? Deacon Asaph, Deacon Malachi. Hey, it's some real mighty, righteous Benjamites in these last days. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite dudes, period, is Paul. You know what I'm saying? So I'll praise to the Most High. This ain't the, tribe bash them or whatever,
Right.
but it is what it is,
It's the
y'all.
Bible.
It's the Bible. You know what I'm saying? It's written for our learning. We had to learn this thing about y'all, Benjamin. It is what it is, all right? But Lord's willing, everybody was edified. And you know what I'm saying, got the understanding of Judges chapters 17 through 20. You got any questions? Hey, I ain't gonna answer them. I'm looking at a camera. I ain't even looking at no stream. You know what I'm saying? So just send them to the IUIC Classrooms Messenger, and upper leadership will get with you. All right. With that, everybody have a good rest of the Monday. Make sure y'all tune in to Escaping the Plantation 2.0 with the mighty officers in Mississippi, Officer Gedaliah. You know what I'm saying? Probably Officer Obadiah, Officer Levy. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all tune into that in about 26 minutes, all right? So with that, we say, Shalom. Oh, yeah, okay, forgive me, guys. Shout out to subscribe to IUIC Arkansas
Yes, sir.
YouTube, all right? IUIC Arkansas to see more of our classes. Check out our radio show and all of that, all right? IUIC Arkansas. With that, we say, Shalom.